Hey, good evening, Galleon. This is Mayor Tom O'Leary, back after a week absence. That's a week as in WEEK. We A week ago, as some of you are Facebook oriented, remember that that was the day that they had such a big outage. We, however, were at a public meeting. Had kind of intended on doing both last week, but with the technical problems, we decided not to. Now, I haven't checked, but we have put that public meeting up on our website, and hopefully, some people, almost everybody in town, uses Portland Way several times a week. Sometimes people several times a day, and I think it's important that folks get familiar with the timetable, exactly what's going to be constructed and when. That meaning the timetable. And so that's probably worth 45 minutes or an hour of your life at some point to watch that representation for ODOT from the contractor, Richland Construction, and also from the city's design consultant that actually did the plan. So full of information on that project that's worth looking at. So we didn't do the live stream last week, but we're here again the night before a city council meeting, and I think that's as often as the case. That's a timely Monday night for these kinds of live streams. Tomorrow night, relatively light agenda, 4 items. I think you'll remember a couple weeks ago we went nearly through all the alphabet, like the names of hurricanes in a bad hurricane season. But tomorrow night there are really only 4 ordinances. And let me pull them up so I can get them right. I expect the first one is utilization of federal funds to replace a roof on the airport hangars out at the airport. Relatively straightforward. These, again, are often 95% state or federal funds. And I think probably before this is all said and done, this will be, if not 100% federally, meaning FFA, Federal Highway or Federal Aviation Administration, or just a small amount from the city. But it's nice to be able to make those improvements, and so ongoing. Although we have not put a lot of money in the airport, we continue to utilize the federal funds to make improvements out there. Number two is take a second or two to describe. Over the last 4 or 5 years, we've been building projects in the southeast part of town, and it's really of an overall set of projects, kind of a plan that was initiated under the city managers, honestly, and we've just been executing one of these projects after another. This would be a project that would make major improvements to stormwater in the first, second, maybe as far east as Third Avenue area. And what we're contemplating is how much roadway improvement we should include in that project. And so what I'm encouraging council to envision or scope the project at is largely a complete rebuild of those streets with curb and gutter where they've certainly not had those, and the replacement of really road ditches that go along the side of the road at the edge of the private property owner. Replace that with curb and gutter. Certainly it'll be a major roadway project. It starts out as a stormwater project, will probably end up as a major roadway project. But I really believe that those parts of Galleon have great real estate potential, and one of the things that holds back additional development in those neighborhoods or reinvestment in some of the existing properties is the condition of the stormwater, certainly, but also the need to have a curb and gutter street there. So that will be tomorrow night. We'll just be asking council's permission to apply for those funds, And if you are a follower of Ohio Public Works Commission funds, Issue 1 funds, you'll say, well, that's the same thing they do every year, and I think that's true. It's been one $400,000 or $500,000 project a year, of half of which we've been able to secure through the Issue 1 funding. So that's the second thing that's on the agenda tomorrow night. The third item is something that may result in some questions tonight, but it has to do with providing the necessary funding to fund the first CARES Act utility rebate, which was talked about in some committee meetings on this live stream, how much of a response there has been. And so what you'll see on tomorrow night is we've used all the CARES funds that were there to allocate. And so this will be a recommendation to use the American Rescue Plan Act, anyways, the new money, and to make good on our commitment to provide those rebates. About $250,000 roughly, I think. And so some of the concerns, they're probably 150-ish, maybe a few more utility customers who did not get credited on their bill. In fact, they got a delinquency notification. What tomorrow night's ordinance will do is clear that up and provide the authorization for the funding to go ahead and take care of those people who had applied, if you will, on time, and yet that credit was not reflected in their most recent bill. So you spend a lot of time trying to build good working relationship with customers, and I don't want to see our utility customers thinking they applied for something and then somehow being penalized or not being compensated at all. So I expect that piece of legislation to go through quickly. There may be some questions, but I don't think it's anything that we discussed at last week committee meeting, and I think council is pretty strongly in support of getting these bills paid as soon as possible. Or back up a little bit, making the money available so that these bills can be credited to your account. So that's number 3. The last one is something that happens every so often, and there is a turnover in all the boards and commissions that the city appoints. There's an opening and some turnover in the design review board. Their recommendation, and I think this will go through tomorrow as well, is for John Bassett, who is the proprietor of a couple businesses in the Uptown. I believe he owns at least one of the buildings, and so he's agreed to serve in that. And so that's, I think that'll go by council, and I expect that to be approved pretty much without any question or anything but a thank you to go to Mr. Bassett. So, Matt, that's what I've got as far as a recap of what, it would be a recap if we were doing it after the meeting, a preview of tomorrow night's council meeting. Not a whole lot beyond that to bring up, see if there are any questions.
I do not have any questions so far.
Okay. Well, we're getting down in the tick, 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 the clock ticking as we get close to the Bueller's opening. I would say, just not as a tease, but as something that's coming again, a preview, is there's renewed interest in building senior housing. If you recall, it seems like a year ago, but there was an interest in an assisted living project that I think was envisioned or designed to work in conjunction with Mill Creek Nursing Home. That project went on hold, and I think it's been canceled at this point. So late last week we were contacted by some people that are interested in acquiring that ground and putting in a senior living project. So I don't know the size and shape, the number of units, the kinds of rent. All I know is that the company that approached us is a company in terms of earning tax credits through the state and federal housing programs, and then has a pretty strong construction arm or branch that does significant projects around the state, around the country, from all that I can research. So we'll keep you informed about that. I think there continues to be a need to find places for the older people in our community who want to stay in Galion, but are just about fed up with maintaining single-family homes. So this is an effort to try to give an option for some of the, in many cases, long-term Galion residents. So we'll keep you posted. I think where you'll see that surface next is a request that will come through the Planning Commission, and it may need a zoning variance to affect that, but I don't want to get into too much detail. It's preliminary, but I think it's good news. So, all right, what do we got? Anything?
Yes, I did have a private message come in, and they wanted to know, has Bueller's given a firm start date yet?
No, yes, and then I think like any other date, I think it bends. I think it is the last week in October or early November, the last we heard. And I think that's pretty much what they've had out in the media and stuff. But, stocking the shelves these days, I hope they have an extra warehouse that they can afford to keep their existing operations stocked fully and still have enough room to build inventory here in Galion. I think it's safe to say that they won't be starting the operation until they're fully staffed, but fully stocked and being able to meet the expectations of Galion customers. So that's about all I got on that.
Okay, I have not had any other questions come in.
Okay. All right. Well, it is. I don't know. I don't even have any good material to stall on. But I'll go back to where I started. Encourage you, if you have some time, you're interested, you need, quote unquote, need Portland Way North 598 to get to and from where you go in life. It'll be important to get a feel for when certain sections will be built, how or whether that will affect your traffic pattern or your traffic need. But we've taken a lot of time and care in designing the project to make sure that we have a lane of traffic in each direction. So the challenging part for our contractor, and we want to work as a community and I think as the neighborhood, if you will, are the access points when people are going to want to turn, let's say going northbound and turn into the car wash or turn into the Bell stores, and those kind of situations, so that we have enough access points in the barrier wall that will be up to protect driving public from the construction firm and allow their people to be safe. So take a little bit of time if you can, and become familiar with the project, or learn in that kind of, oh crap, I should have taken a look at this a couple of weeks ago. The first day of construction, have that wake you up. Make sure you have a good cup of coffee. So anyways, we're excited about the project. Worked on it for many years now, and we've spent time and a fair amount of your money to make sure that it allows access to the businesses, the medical facilities, all that's along that corridor. So we're looking forward to a challenging next year, but I think when we're done, everybody will be smiling. At least that's our hope and expectation. So, got anything else?
Yeah, I did have a question come in from Cindy.
Sure.
She asked, are there any updates on a mural by the gazebo?
We just looked at about 5 sheets today. We got them back from our the local artist that we, if you will, commissioned to come up with some designs. And I'm not sure how to proceed from here. There's certainly some that are reflective of important historical scenes in Galion, kind of different frames, And then there are some that I would describe as largely floral murals. So we're going to sort through them. Maybe at some point, once we narrow all of them, we may put them up on our website and have people have a sort of unofficial, informal vote. So, anyways, they're working on it. It's a spring of 22 project, though, Cindy. I don't see it us settling on getting any kind of consensus in the community and then getting it materials ordered and getting the right kind of weather to do it. So I think you may see the rest of the project proceeding through the winter months, but I think the mural is probably almost for certain a 22 project. So Matt, we should probably think about that. It's a good question. See how we can narrow the options and put some of them up, say 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
See what the Facebook live stream viewing public and anybody else who keeps an eye on. I think there are a lot of people who have in their news feed the City of Galleon site, so you don't have to hover over every bit of news and all of the drama or the lack of it. But this is certainly something that we could, get informal feedback, see what people think. We'll all be looking at it for a number of years, so we want to pick smart. So let's try to narrow that down and get something up in the next day or two.
Okay.
All right. There's executive decision making happening here on the spur of the moment. So, all right, we got anything else?
Yes, I had another question. This
ahead.
one came in from Tina. She asked, when will you get someone to come out and take a look at the east side of Pounder Avenue? There's an old alley, and people's backyards have sinkholes.
I believe it's in the alley behind Pounder. I think that's where we have a problem with that, and we're aware of the problem. Unless I'm totally off on this, and you can call us tomorrow and straighten us out, or come up and see me, or Matt or whomever, and that's a vacated alley. If we're talking about the same thing, so we got to fix it, and I don't think it's satisfactory to say, well, when we build the big stormwater project that I just referred to, it'll get tackled then. We probably have to look at what we can do in the meantime. And I'm not going to say much more than that. I don't know if we would have trouble getting access to work on the sewer that's under there if we have an easement, or if the vacation kept us from going in there and working on that. But that's really all I got on that. I wish I was more informative, but I know where it's at, and I know what the problem is, and it has to do with water sheeting off of the, heading north, wanting to run towards Hardingway, if I'm not mistaken. And it comes off of East Park in that big parking lot right there. So whether there's activity in the parking lot or not, there's a lot of rain that hits it, and I believe that's what is the origin of the problem. But if there's sinkholes, we'll go out and look at them. We'll tell them in the morning. I don't think I said that the last time she called, but it is. I'm almost certain it's a private alley that was done. I don't know, probably under the city manager era, but I'm not sloughing it off on them. So, all right. So what I got on that one, it's going to be a while before we get a storm sewer out there that stops that water, catches it before it heads north. Wanting to head north towards Hardingway. So it's mostly what I got. Anything there? Anything else?
Nope, that's all I had.
All right. Well, it's kind of good to be back. Things are moving, I think, along okay. We've got the 22 budget that we're going to begin meeting with supervisors later this week and kind of see where we're at. We do have a quote in on insurance, and it doesn't make me want to jump out of a second-story window. So I think that big equation in terms of how much will it cost for you folks to pay for the nearly 100 employees that we have working for the city, and that insurance equation. It's $1 million plus, and so to see what I think will be an affordable increase, I think it's a good thing. This is the third year of our labor agreement, so we know what that cost will be. So we'll begin in one of the top priorities of the time spent and getting ready for next year, getting that 22 budget in place. So stay tuned. We'll try to keep you informed on that as well. With that being said, I'll say good night and tune in tomorrow night for City Council meeting. See you.